Hey everyone!
Hello.
Welcome to another episode.
Hi.
We're hosting our lovely friends, NeuraBlink.
From
From Ukraine, of course. I forgot to mention that. So guys, give it a hello if you want.
Hello.
Hi.
Merhaba.
So if you want, we can just dive right into questions if you're comfortable with it.
You know how in our country we say hello?
No, I don't know. Please teach me.
Привет.
Привет.
It's the same as Russian, right?
Okay, in Ukrainian we say привет. Привет?
Привет. Привет.
Привет. In Russian, привет.
Привет.
Like all Ukrainian,
Good.
like all Ukrainians speakers of Russian and Ukrainian, so we speak both languages fluently.
We know, like, it's just Turkish. Don't have much to say about it.
Yeah, it's a pretty flat language, especially at this time, like in the Ottoman Empire times. Why am I speaking? I'm not even that acknowledged. Anyway, so if you're ready with it, let's start off with the questions.
Okay.
So we'll be asking our questions open-endedly. So if you want to say anything, just go ahead. So can you kind of like describe your team a little, like how it was founded, when it was founded, and how many people?
Andrew, could you tell us the story, please?
Sure. So I'm Team 1710 alumni, which is from Kansas. So I've been to Kansas on an exchange here, and I took part in first robotics competition there. And when I came back to Ukraine, there was no FRC, so that was bad. And I founded a nonprofit with some of my friends, and we started fundraising and finding a school for FRC, and we came to this school called ORT, O-R-T, 141 in Kiev. And yeah, we gathered some people, including Nikita and Eugene, who are first year members, with two mentors from this school. And our first season, we took part in Bosphorus Regional, just as this year. And yeah, it was great. We got what award, Nikita?
Judges Award?
Yeah, just award.
Judges Award.
Not a rookie all-stars award, but
unfortunately, but Judges Award is also okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and after that, not many team members stayed because it was first year. It was a big mess.
Yeah, I remember there were about 40 people in our first meeting, but only 20 people remained in the team before the season. Only 10 people went to the first of our competitions, and only 5 of these 10 people left in the team after this season. So like in off season, we have only 5 people in our team.
Yeah, but now it's more like 15.
Like, yeah, our team is small. We have only 15 people in our team, but I don't think it's like a huge problem.
Yeah.
The number. So I think EFSA has one question after
Yes, I have the second question. So as we all know, you created a worldwide branch called EcoFirst. And how did EcoFirst come to your mind, guys?
Nikita?
So could you repeat, please? I had a couple of connection, yeah. Could you repeat, please?
Oh, sorry. So how did the idea of EcoFirst come to your minds?
Well, I remember after our first competitions, we have come back to Ukraine and decided to organize like a picnic in our local park. But there were a lot of trash in this park, so instead of having fun and having a picnic, we decided to collect all of this trash. But then we have realized that our team is small. We have like only 5 people in our team, so we don't have enough resources and manpower to make the planet greener alone. So we decided to share environmental ideas from different teams from all around the world. That's how this project was created.
That's cool. And the third question is, what was the hardships of creating a new branch in FRC?
Andy?
Yes. The biggest hardship is lack of recognition. Like when you go to school and you say you want to start an FRC team, they say like FR who or something like that. Like no one heard about this program in Ukraine. I think only in this school where we founded, they knew about it, but they were still not ready to
sorry
start.
for interrupting you, Andrei. If we're talking about first programs in Ukraine, FLL is really popular in Ukraine. We have about 400 FLL teams in Ukraine and 500 FLL junior teams. And you know, most like of these teams are based in Ukrainian city, Kiev. And sometimes I have a feeling like every second, maybe every third school has its own FLL or FLL junior team. And sometimes I have a feeling like, over 30,000 kids from all around Ukraine are involved in the first programs.
Yeah, and the thing is with FLL that it was centralized by one organization called Innovative Technologies of Education, and they don't want to go into FTC and FRC. So without like some kickstart, it would never happen in Ukraine, like maybe another decade, just because they were only about FLL, and you know, with more than 1,000 teams now, they were not really interested in spending that much money for organizing FRC, for example, which is more than $10,000 for us each year.
If we are talking about, well, in our first year, we have faced with some really major financial problems. You know, Ukraine has a little bit difficult economical situation due to the war and economical crisis. So it was really challenging to find some money for our team because, you know, local companies don't have enough resources and opportunities to support development of science and technologies in Ukraine. Meanwhile, international companies are not actually interested in sharing their money for development of robotics because most of Ukrainian IT specialists prefer to migrate to more developed Western countries looking for the better job. So they don't, most of Ukrainian companies are not actually interested in spreading their money for development of FRC, and it was really challenging to find some sponsorship. Yeah.
That's so sad, but I'm glad you succeeded it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have two questions kind of mixed in one. Like, EcoForce is a huge network. Like, how was it try to set it up and try to get the word out? Like, hey, there is a thing called EcoForce. Like, what was the trials and errors of creating a branch, basically, to an FRC? So.
You know, when EcoForce was created, it was like a small project, and we wanted to involve few Israeli teams. Then we decided to make like a presentation about the EcoFirst initiative. And do you remember how we were making this presentation?
Yes.
Yeah, it were incredible.
Can we share embarrassing parts or no?
Like what? Yeah, sure, you can.
I mean, I love the fact that we almost sent everybody presentations with some filler sentences. You know, we made a presentation and we needed content. And I forgot one slide where was some information. And it was just some random Latin words, some lorem ipsum.
Yeah, lorem ipsum dollar.
Yeah. Like
that's good stuff.
Like I was responsible for designing this presentation. Meanwhile, Andrei was making all the content, and like he has forgotten to fill like one slide. And as he has mentioned earlier, he has left only Latin things there, and it was really embarrassing because about 1 week other teams were watching this presentation with Latin science. Like, yeah.
It was online, so it was presented
like,
to everybody, but we fixed it, so it's okay now.
We have chatted some teams about. We have chatted about 500 not 500, 50 teams from all around the world, and we have invited them to join the initiative. But you know, most of these teams were ignoring our teams, so most of these teams haven't joined into the initiative. But then we have invited some really active teams. For example, these guys from Romania. I'm probably sure you know about them. You were speaking with them earlier, like yeah. And these guys have shared the EcoFirst initiative all around Romania, and now EcoFirst in Romania is like really popular, and most of Romanian teams are involved in the EcoFirst initiative, and I think it's like a huge success.
So, how did you manage to grow this fast as a team?
I think that's all about the people who stayed. Like in the first year, it was really hard because initially was on um, members of nonprofit. They are founded. Like the big part of the preparation was done in summer, and some fundraising. And then when mentors came in, it was or some help came from them, but still the members of the team were kind of dependent on us. But in this year, I feel like everything was done by them, which is something that I really liked when I was in Kansas, because their mentors were just for kids not to cut their fingers on instruments. That's all that they were doing, just keeping an eye on everyone. And the rest of their work, like the fundraising, the doing the robot, everything was done by the members, even mentoring, because seniors who were just graduating school, they would instruct members who just came to the team. And that's how it was done. No mentors involved.
I guess
think
it's the best way.
That's quite impressive.
Yeah, that's a good technique actually.
Yes,
Yeah,
to keep the sustainability in the team.
Yeah, I think that is the best way for learning. Like that's what I like about FRC, that it's the best way to learn, in my opinion, not sitting in school, but doing something and being explained and told by other students. You know, that's there's no like huge authority that you cannot question. Like if your team captain messes up, you can say it like, dude, you messed up, and we are all in the same boat, and you just made a huge hole in this boat. Like how are we gonna manage that? I think that responsibility on each team member is really important for the team growing.
So, you know, the EcoFirst network is, you know, very fragile. So how do you feel like, how does it feel to, you know, eventually pass down this network to someone?
Well, you know, EcoFirst is not just like a project. We haven't launched EcoFirst just for like our chairman's award. First of all, we have launched this project to unite all teams, to unite all robotics teams from all around the world under one goal to spread environmental ideas to the first community. So EcoFirst community is built on a democratical issue. So every team could suggest something, every team could do something. So EcoFirst is like an accelerator of smaller projects and initiatives. So for example, if your team would like to plant some trees, but you realize that you don't have enough money and resources to plant a lot of trees, you could share this project with other EcoFirst teams, and as a result, instead of 40 trees, you will plant 400 trees. That's how it works.
Thanks. So the next question is from John.
Me. Yeah. What is your favorite project in EcoFirst, and which team has organized it?
Challenging to answer because all projects are my favorite, so I cannot highlight just like one, my favorite project. I like all of the projects.
Right. So now I would like to kind of briefly talk about like the head of the road of the EcoFirst. Like, what are your plans, or what are like the community plans made for EcoFirst?
So okay, next year we would like to work more on local cooperation of teams. So this year was more like organizational year. We have organized a lot of calls between different teams, and we have united different teams under one goal. But main problem of this year that we haven't organized any practical real events. So next year I would like to unite local teams between each other and encourage local teams to organize something together. So for example, if we're talking about Turkey, if we're talking about Istanbul, all Istanbul teams can gather together and organize something together, something like a cleaning up or a conference and something like that.
So,
Great.
do you guys generally, as of our and as of your team, would you like to add anything? Like, would you like to ask us questions, or like EFSA, John Dennis, would you like to add anything?
I don't have something specific in my mind, so I guess not.
What are your advices to other teams who want to build something like EcoFirst community?
Andrew?
What are your advices?
I think not be afraid to ask, especially big groups of people. Like there is a huge Discord channel for a lot of FRC teams, and there is Canadian one. I think Nikia was.
Not just like one. There are a lot of Canadian teams here.
Yeah, so there are huge clusters of teams, and if there is 1,000 teams, there is definitely 1 or 2 teams that will sign up for any project, even the craziest one. So I hope you'll have really crazy projects that even we'll take part in, because we're open for the good stuff.
So, do you guys would like to add anything? Like,
We just want to thank you for the interview. Yeah.
Teşekkür ederim. Teşekkür ederim.
Rica ederim.
we would like to thank you for joining.
Can you teach us how to say thank you in Ukrainian?
Yeah.
Дякую.
Дякую. Дякую.
Дякую.
Дякую.
Right.
What?
Дякую.
Дякую.
Like one person, please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I'm
butcher your language
shameless, yeah.
anymore.
Okay, it's so hard.
So thank you guys for watching. We would like to thank you guys for joining us. So yeah, that is another episode. We'd like to see you next time. Stay safe and take care.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
this.
you.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Güle güle.